Okay. Well, might as well just talk to myself. So, I'll get myself a couple of F clamps from the old F clamp shelf that I also built on my live, and I'm gonna hold this down to the bench that I also built on my live, and the plane that we sharpened yesterday on my live. And we are going to finally get to this 100-year-old chestnut, American chestnut, wormy American chestnut, to be precise. And now that I have a plane, hand plane, worthy of it, then we're gonna put this thing together. What's jiggling? I don't know what that is. Oh, it's just this. Oh, it's supposed to jiggle. All right. So we're gonna get this 100-year-old chestnut. These boards that I was lucky enough to find in my home when I bought this house a couple years back. And it was a little Easter egg for me. And now, finally, I get to do something with it. And I don't know what this is gonna look like. All the planing I have experience in so far is getting this thing sharp and planing this bench yesterday. And, you know, this is construction lumber bench because I'm cheap. See, so we got shavings down there, so it worked. So let's see if it works on something. I guess a bit more worth it. So, and there's two things that I'm also gonna do is, while I'm here, because I am, of course, a carpenter. So I'm gonna try and see what a finished sanding looks like on this stuff versus what it looks plain. Now, in theory, this should be a hands down contest for the plane, but who really knows, you know? So, my first time with it, I'm gonna try with the plane first, because that's just what I'd rather play with first, really. And again, y'all, you know, bear with me. I am gonna have to clamp this down and just give it whatever shot I can. And you know what? I think I'm gonna flip this bench. I think I'm gonna flip the bench. Maybe not. This should be good. This should be good. So I'm gonna grab it on this backside and then somewhere up here. Keep it nice and even Steven. And I'm gonna do that with these F clamps. Now these are cheapos. I got these from Harbor Freight. Home Depot has them as well. They're red. Typically, I have those too. I do prefer these. These are, I think it's the handle more than anything. You can get more grip on these handles than you can with the Home Depot. Put this down back here. I'm gonna try to keep this clamp as out of my way as possible. I do not, I know you're saying, where's your bench clamp? Wes, you should have a vise by now. But I don't. And I'm so sorry. So sorry I've let you down. I promise you I won't sleep tonight. In respect to my not having proper voice. All right, let's see. That's getting held on by our bench pretty good there. So let's just see. If my posture's bad, you know, I don't know what to tell you. I'm learning. All right, here we go. So far, we've made dust. This is really good. Look at it scraping, though. Did you see that? Like it's kicking up literal dust. Wow. Now, I'm not what you'd call an extremist when it comes to new stuff. I'm creeping up on this cut. I'm going to just adjust my blade down just a little bit more. And then I'm going to keep going and see if I can thicken up the shaving a little bit. And I don't know what good wormy chestnut's supposed to look like. So look at that. We're getting shavings. This is official right now. We are woodworkers working wood. Look at that. Let's just take a minute to absorb the fact that we have learned to create wood. Oh, all right, sorry. I get excited. All right, here we go. And right now, what we're doing is getting this wood flat. And essentially, we're just getting it flat right now. And I don't know at what point, if it starts getting like pretty, but I'll tell you what, it is like weirdly smooth. It doesn't look like it would feel. It's definitely night and day difference between this and this. So let's keep going. See what comes of it. Because this is going to be my drawer fronts, possibly my doors, after I do a glue up for them, for my vanity that I'm building for this bathroom. And of course, I'll be recording that process in this old West. Just kidding. More shavings. This is amazing. I'm going to collect these because I hear you can do the shavings and wax, and you can make like candles and fire starters and things that'll like last for a long time. All right. Back at it. This is a Stanley number 4. We tuned it. If you want to see that process, I've got videos for it. if you guys can see these shavings is good from that angle. But here's what I'll do. I'll turn it around a little bit. So that's like part of it, right? It's seeing the shavings come off the tool. A little bit. Oh no, fam. All right. Posture everything. Little adjustment back here. Little righty tighty. Every now and then you get a good bite. Just feels good, huh? Look at those bad boys. That's what you want. That's what we're after. In the front, this is a little workout too. It's a little bit. A little bit of arms, a little bit of legs, but also this is a workbench rather than like a elevated table, like it's, you know, knee high, which is great for sitting on, but I don't know if it's the greatest thing to stand over, but I'm getting results. Tell you that. So wait till I get my shavings right. You can't tell me nothing, right? Okay, sorry. I get very excited. Uh-oh. See that? I don't know if that's a gouge. But that's my plane. Straightening some business out. Yeah. Now, I was very careful to go through this wood. I had a bunch of little nails in it along with these pinholes, and they were very disguised. But I did go through this very carefully and get all those out, because hitting a nail with this blade would be catastrophic for the blade and the carpenter, who has no idea how to repair such a terrible problem. So if you're going to do this, be sure that you're absolutely nail free. The consequences with this tool versus this one are completely different. Mostly because this one will be fine. You just get another piece, snatch it off, and get back to it. So I'm going to move my clamp, and I'm going to hit this little area here, and then we're going to see what the sander does versus this. Or if you think we should just go a little bit deeper and see if we can carve down a little bit more, just hit the like thing, and if it elevates, then I'll know what you want me to do. All right, so for now, let's take these clamps off. All right. And I'm going to just shift them to the other side. La, la, la. Wait till I get my F clamps right. You can't tell me nothing wrong. All right. Let's tie it up. Now, what I also want to make sure is that I don't have too much bounce in this thing, because if I do have more bounce, then I'm sort of pressing uphill or downhill, and I want to press flat. I want the surface to stay as flat as possible because I'm trying to flatten it. And I've already flattened this bench pretty well the other day, so I'm pretty confident in that part. But I absolutely want to make sure that I got the best chance at a flat plank, because this is going to be the doors and the drawer fronts to my vanity, and it's going to go for kind of a antique / contemporary meld. Oh, you'll see it. You'll see it. I'll be here doing it. Same place. Doing everything right here. Getting shavings at my hand plane. Good old Stanley number 4. So proud of having taken this thing from a 1946 tool to something that can cut this. And what's wild is this wood was already at least 25 years old by the time this 1946-47 Stanley number 4 plane was even built. Crazy. By that metric, I'm kind of a whippersnapper, you know? I'm the youngest thing in this equation right now. Let me show you something. That's what we're after. That's what I'm doing here. That's all we're doing. See somebody doing woodworking? That's all they want. That's all we're after. Planes. That'll give us results like that. Hold tight. I'm gonna get you a better view of what we got going on. Here in one quick second. Finding me a rover. All right, we're back. So, 100-year-old American chestnut, 80-year-old hand plane, year-old carpenter. Older than Jesus. tell you my technique is superb. It just feels that way, you know. I want to say my results are immaculate. But I am interested in showing you my immaculate results. I need you to accept me as a woodworker, you too. I've got these. Oh, this is all I ever wanted. This is all I was ever after. Not the fame, not the fortune, but 100-year-old shaving. That's what I'm after. That's what it's for. I wish I had a better voice, right, for this, like the other woodworker channels. You know what I'm saying? They've got better presentation, man. They sound like woodworkers. They dress like woodworkers. I look like I should be bringing sheetrock through the back door. Mostly because that's what I be doing. One day, I'll have my own narrator, you know what I'm saying? Wes worked tirelessly through the night, getting his 100-year-old board absolutely perfectly level. So far, it's plumb, flush, level, razor thin, corrugated, insulated, agitated, sanded, planed, varnished, painted, and kissed ever so gently and tenderly. All right. This plane has gone over almost every square inch of this top surface, and I don't know how to. Here's what I'll do. Let me get a flat edge that I know it's flat. Let's see what we're talking about here. We don't have to guess. We can know. All right, so I'm gonna lay this just right across, kind of at a diagonal, and then we're gonna see if we see light in between, and we'll at least know how flat we are, or have an idea of that. And I'm gonna let you see, and then you tell me where we are. I don't see any light at all between there. Let's try this side. Pretty gosh darn impressed that we're that flat. Just check it on this edge that didn't get all that much attention. And I can see a little cupping right there on this edge. Let me move it back and see if it continues. Ever so slightly, but it is there. So, we have a little bit of bowing happening. But I don't know what an airplane has to do with what we're doing. Just kidding. But what we do have is smooth and relatively flat. I'm going to give her a little more, slight little turn. There's a few of these shavings up off of here. So at least we've got an opportunity for a sander to have a fair shake in this contest. Ooh, did you see that? Ooh. Kind of dug in just there. Kind of dug in. Like, daggone woodworking. Not a soft man's sport, it turns out. Soft person, I should say. But 100-year-old seed American wormy chestnut is quite a formidable opponent for these blades, but it seems to be doing great. It's kind of weird that, like, on the drawback, you can sort of tell when you pass over kind of a high spot and hit a little bump. Yeah, I just don't know. Now, I just sharpened this blade yesterday and did really good getting me some. I'll show you what I was getting yesterday out of the pine here, out of my bench top, which I was pretty satisfied with. They're pretty thin and wispy, and that's all I did with it. Now I've got these, but this wood seems considerably drier, right? And this is 100-year-old American chestnut. And it's wormy chestnut, so I don't know. But it's been down here in this house for at least 40 years. And I'm just working on it, trying to see if I can get it nice and smooth. And this being my first hand plane, short of, no disrespect intended, to this little guy. That is great for doing handles and sending little chamfers and stuff like that. But this is my first one, 1946, Stanley number 4, and I just kind of put it together the other day. But this is pretty awesome. So yeah, maybe this is just a nice tough wood, but I am gonna break the rules and put my sander on it because I've been a cabinet maker for a number of years, and I have not had the experience of being a true woodworker. in that sense. And I do want to see what the difference is between this nice finish that I can get with this and what I can get with this. And I haven't gotten this down to the raw wood until just now. So I'm not even certain what this is supposed to look like when I'm all done, without a finish, that is. But we're going to find out together today. And I'm going to run a few more passes with this, and then I'm going to go ahead and get started on some. I'll run through my grits, and I may start at like maybe a 120 or something. It'll be nice to start with. I'll work my way up to like a 220 and see if to the touch, if it's similar. This wood has a very interesting sheen in between the grain. You can see it's almost like how oak does. You can always kind of see the growth, and this doesn't feel as rigid as that, but pretty cool. Also, you know, this was up against a wall for some time, so it's been milled at least once, because it's got a nice tongue on this side and a groove on this side, and the panels. And again, here's my shavings. So this is what I'm about. This is what I want to do. All right, thanks a lot for dropping in, anybody, and thanks for the likes up top. And anybody wants to subscribe, like, this is what I'm doing all the time. Down here in the shop learning and passing on my findings. All right, so let's not took over. Let's do something a little different here. All right. We're gonna get us a little power. A little bit of power. Get on up. A little bit of power. Get on up. Get up. Alright, now that we have defiled our woodworking lab with electricity, we might as well get to it. Maybe we start not too aggressive. Let's go 180. Let's go 180. See what that does. smoothness though is not, it's not bad. Like, this seems to be kind of a lighter wood. I'm gonna go ahead and throw the 220 on that thing and really see what we got. Now, I'm going to take a quick pause right there. Now, some of this coloration difference can be just the sawdust from the sander working its way into the grooves and thus making it look a little bit more uniform. That may or may not be what's happening. I don't know. There's definitely sawdust here. But ultimately, I think we get really close to what we can expect the end result look of the wood to be unfinished. And I can say with almost absolute certainty, we are going to need to choose a finish. This is not all by itself in its natural state what I would call pretty wood. Like, that's, like, you could respect the quality of it and the uniqueness of it. This is not the most beautiful of wood. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to probably get a stain or a finish or something on it to make it look like something that we want to see. Now, these little wormholes are awesome. And this thing did really good at flattening this down. If we had to sand all of this to this level of flat and smooth, it would be a nightmare. It'd be a dust storm in here. So this took off a lot of the material, and I think that is precisely what it was intended to do. Because the amount of wood that I'm able to slice off in a pass here would just be a lot of sanded wood. And each time I pass over it, I can tell that I'm getting flatter, because you can just feel it on the sole of the plane. So far, that's my experience with this plane. And so far, between the sander and this, I think this allows more character of the wood to show up, because look how much of that wood grain showed back up on this side after the replaning over the sanding. Right? This is all the stuff I'm after, right here, right here. Now, I'm going to jump back across to the other side. I'm going to grab my little beverage shake. Little gas in the tank. Ten out of 10. I really, truly, wholly enjoy this process. Now, lots of other things you could be doing with your time, but man, it's not a lot. It's not a lot that beats this one. So, if you got the time, you got the energy. This particular plane is what's considered a block plane, I believe. This is sort of like the middle of the road, and this is an extreme on the other side of that. And then there are the much larger, longer finishing planes, I believe. But this one's doing a fantastic job for me, and I have had a blast getting all these little shavings up. Like, I couldn't recommend it more. I really could not. I'm going to be doing all kinds of stuff. I'm going to be building all kinds of stuff for this. I'll probably be back because I've got, of course, more than just this one board to do. I've got to have enough to build an entire vanity face, drawers, everything. And I want to build stuff that lasts forever. So, speaking of lasting forever, the spider did not. So, I'm just really happy about it. I'm going to go ahead and get together on a design and figure out how I want to build this vanity. Now that I know what my wood can look like. One of the ways to tell what it looks like with a little bit of sheen on it is just get it wet. So let's just get it wet a little bit. It's wild. It almost seems water resistant. Like, look at it just floating on top. But this is what the finish would look like in the varying stages of clear coats. And I might change my mind about liking this wood. I might be changing my mind about liking this wood. Something to think about. So, I'm going to let that dry out. I'm going to work on this board some more on the other side. And I am absolutely head over heels with the results I got from my Stanley number 4. After a little bit of tuning, and thank y'all for who came to watch the live when I tune this thing and flatten the sole and sharpen the blade and the chip breaker and all the varying parts. That was awesome. And a couple of y'all came through and gave me some tips. That was awesome. And I look forward to coming back and getting some more planing done. I might even come back tonight. I don't know. But either way, subscribe, and then every time I come back, you'll know and you'll get to see it. And maybe one day I'll do something interesting. Who knows? Anyway, till then, Wes does it. Thumbs up, all that business. And if you want to go back and see any of this, I'll leave the live up and you can go back and check it out. Peace.